Something I've been thinking about lately that I want to kind of share with y'all this morning is, if it doesn't happen to you or your family or somebody that you know, it ain't that serious and you don't really care about it at that present time. I guess I'd say that. So like I said, definitely welcome to the video this morning, y'all. I'm Tonetta. So like I said, definitely welcome. This is something that's been on my mind. My eyes are itching now. The sun is blinding me. Now I can see. But like I said, this has been on my mind, not just recently with all the stuff going on, but this has been on my mind for years now, I'll put it that way. Because I know how important it is for us to, of course, have our own experiences and to empathize and to have compassion for other people. And I don't care if it's race or age or whatever it is, whoever it is, just have compassion and empathy for somebody else. And like I said, I know that's one of the reasons why I know why it's so hard for people to empathize when certain communities have different things going on that nobody really cares about unless they stay in that community. And yes, I'm not just talking about killings. I'm not just talking about being a social worker. I'm talking about all of it. Because I know I've talked about a whole lot of different things, of course, on social media. And I know that if somebody hasn't experienced what you've been through or what you've experienced or even what you have seen growing up or seen in life, other folks, they can, of course, say, oh, I feel for you, or I hate that it happened. But they really don't understand your plight and what you're talking about and where you're coming from until it happens to them. And like I said, it's not just, like I said, I know there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the media too about the killings that happened recently with ICE, or I think it's, with ICE, and then of course police killings throughout the years that I've seen too as well. And not just those types of things, but I'm a social worker, so I work with people that have dementia. Well, I work with the caregivers that work with people that have dementia. Memory loss. And a lot of people, of course, I can't say a lot of people, I don't know the stats, I have no idea. But there is some people out here that have never dealt with anybody that have memory loss, or even talked to a caregiver that's caring for somebody that has memory loss. And when I tell you, it is definitely heart-wrenching, it's gut-wrenching, and it's a lot of work to do, I put it that way, in caring for someone that has memory loss. And somebody that's on the outside cannot even identify with that. They just know that, of course, what it's called, what it may be, what some of the symptoms may be, what it may look like, and that kind of thing. And then they want to tell you, oh, just do this, just do that, you'll be fine, you'll do that. When you're dealing with somebody 24/7 that has any kind of memory loss like that, it's not a just do this and you'll be fine. It's a just do this, but you got to keep doing other things as well. Somebody got to watch the person that you, of course, are caring for, and that type of thing. Like I said, there's a lot of things that come into play, a lot of behaviors that go on, that change day by day, and it feels like you going crazy and insane. But like I said, folks who've never dealt with that don't know how that feels. They just know from the outside looking in what to tell you that may work when they have done their own self-care, not with self-care with somebody caring for dementia. Caring for somebody with dementia. The same thing when it comes to being I've been a social worker, like I said, 26.5 years. And in the areas I worked in, of course, usually the inner cities. And what I normally see or have seen throughout these 26.5 going on 27 years was folks who do not live in the inner city coming to work at different companies, work at different nonprofits to help take care of the kids, or not take care of, but be a case manager, be a social worker for the kids, all those types of things. And what I have noticed when I first started working for the state in foster care department, foster care, adoption, the juvenile courts and all that kind of stuff, that was my first almost 8 years of working as a social worker. And what I noticed starting off in that, even the first week, while I was doing my practicum, I ain't gonna say the first week of actual work, because I did a practicum for like a year before then. So, of course, I guess the year I did my practicum, like I said, what I noticed starting off just with those little simple things, I know that people want to work. I'm not saying you don't have to take a job, you can't work here, you can't work there, but just know that if you never grew up in the inner city, and people, not saying that people act that much differently, but people prioritize things differently when you live in different areas, I put it that way. And coming into a situation where you have no idea what's going on with the people, you don't know how to relate to the people, you don't know what to really tell these people. I've seen it all. I put it that way. I'm not going to get into all the specifics and that kind of thing. But like I said, I've seen all types of people try to come in and work with the folks in the inner city. And most of them, of course, are black like me. I put it that way. I had no problem, of course, identifying with them. I come from the same areas that they've been through. Went through a lot of the things that they went through as well, while they were in care. That's the reasons why they were in care. I went through probably all the things that they went through as well. And like I said, I can identify and empathize and have compassion for those types of people that, like I said, that I was dealing with. They were children at the time. I'm sure they're all adults now, but they were, of course, children at the time. And like I said, other folks that's coming in trying to work with somebody who's been through all these things, been traumatized in different ways, have different priorities than they may have, they don't understand how to work with these people. Unfortunately, I've seen it a lot. Not just in the first 7-8 years of me working, I guess, in the foster care department in St. Louis, Missouri, but of course throughout my whole time working, I put it that way. And like I said, it doesn't take a lot to, I mean, it of course, in some ways, of course, it can take a lot to empathize, to have compassion for somebody, but just know that it's just learned experience. And sometimes you have to ask the people how they feel in order for you to understand kind of what they're going through. You may not be able to understand 100% because you haven't lost a loved one that was killed by somebody in law enforcement, or you haven't had anybody that was sexually abused, or you hadn't had anybody that was going through domestic violence situations, or dealing with somebody that had memory loss. But like I said, you can still ask them questions. How are they doing? How are they feeling? What's going on? What's going on today? All those types of things. You can still at some point empathize with them and have compassion. And a lot of times, like I said, I see a lot of things going on, and it seems like, which I understand, like I just said, that you don't, everybody does not go through every single thing. Everybody ain't had a divorce or long-term relationships either. So some folks can, of course, speak on some things, but they can't speak on everything. How it actually is to be in a relationship or marriage, whichever word you want to use, in order to deal with your partner and how to handle your partner and how to handle yourself and that type of thing. Some folks don't even have that experience. So, but like I said, definitely you can always ask questions, is what I always say. Just ask the questions. And I think I talked about something totally different, the topic, but it's all right. But like I said, simply just ask the questions. I know a lot of time, like I said, folks, if they're not dealing with it or going through it, they can care less. Their life, they have other priorities going on over here, on their end of the world, not our end of the world. And like I said, we have to remember that as well. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but like I said, that's what I see all the time. And we all know that's true. I'm pretty sure deep down we all know that's true. Like I said, just with the folks that was killed by ICE recently. Yes, we black folks have been saying this for years. Police killing us and this kind of thing. Oh, we lying, and that ain't the truth. Police ain't bad. But when it start happening to somebody else's culture, then all of a sudden it's a problem. Like I said, folks just don't care if it's not in their neck of the woods, I guess I put it that way, and not right at their doorstep in their household. They may care to a certain extent, or, oh, look at this, what's going on, that type of thing for that day, but the folks who have to live through it have to live through it. And I just hope that this message, it's not really a message, I guess, but just my observations and just things I've just been thinking about lately. Yes, it always has bothered me, and I've been, like I said, thinking about a lot of these things for years, ain't just lately, but like I said, for years. And like I said, of course, things always bother me. I'm sure things always bother you too. But like I said, I just want to speak on this today, because I know for us who are going through things, and who just lost that loved one, or who got a loved one with dementia, or who just got a divorce, or whatever the case may be, other folks are not going to understand. Not saying that they all don't care. Some of them don't care, and some of them will care to a certain extent that they can care for you for. I'm saying that right. But I guess to a certain extent, from what they know and what they've experienced, that's all that they can care with. So if they only experience 50% of what you went through, that's all they're going to be able to offer you. I guess in better words. If they've only heard about somebody having dementia, that's all they're going to be able to care for you for, just from what they've heard and what you can do about it. If they've only experienced somebody that has never been beaten or killed by the police or anybody in authority, then they can identify with you on that level at all, unless they've seen something go bad when it came to working with somebody in law enforcement or the court or attorneys or whichever the case may be. That's all that they can have sympathy for. It's up to a certain point. And like I said, we have to understand that as well and not take it so personal. Just know that everybody has not had the same experiences that we've had, and that is okay. But just know that there's nothing wrong with trying to, the best that you can, ask the question so that you can empathize and have compassion for someone else that's going through that situation as well, even though you have never been through it. Like I said, y'all, I see this happen often, and I'm like, what is going on? Just ask questions. Don't just assume that this person is this way and that way. They did this, they did that. You have no idea. Just ask the questions if you're looking to sympathize and empathize with these people. And have compassion for whoever the people are. Does not matter. So like I said, y'all, this is just my observation. Like I said, I just wanted to bring this video. It's not really a message in the video this morning, at least I don't think, but maybe it is for someone else. I guess I put it that way. Like I said, these are just things that I've just observed and that just bothers me. I guess I'd say that because I know that when you're going through something, another person cannot really empathize with you a lot unless they've been through that same situation. And like I said, some just don't care about it. Some do care about it. They only care about it to the extent that they can care about it. The only extent that they've, of course, experienced with that whole entire, whether it's relationships, memory loss, killings, whatever it is, they can only empathize so much, especially if they haven't been through it. It's not in their neck of the woods, so no, they're not going to care about it like you do. You have to care about the situation more than anybody else. You, your family, your household, whoever it is affecting, y'all have to care about it more than anybody else. Because like I said, everybody's not going to be able to empathize and have compassion for you because they haven't been through the situation. And yes, while we all want to, while I want to think that, of course, everybody can empathize, which they can to a certain extent, the only extent that they can, given their experiences and their trauma and that kind of thing. The same thing with compassion. But we all know that everybody's not going to be able to meet us at that 100% mark at all. We all, I know that. I guess I can't speak for all, but I know that. Being a social worker, like I said, for this long, I know that when it comes to people. And the people I work with, the people I've talked to, the people that I've helped, the people that I hadn't helped, I guess I put it that way as well. The folks that I run into along these lines, I guess working and that kind of thing. And not just working, but personally as well. Like I said, everybody's not going to be able to come down to your level when something's going on. They can only speak to you from the level that they're at. So y'all, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get off here because I do have to get into work this morning. Like I said, I just want to share my thoughts of what I've been thinking about lately for the last several years. I put it that way. Like I said, I know it wasn't a full message, but I just hope that this helps somebody think about things in a different way. To know that the person that you're telling your story to or the person that you're talking to may not be able to 100% empathize with you and have compassion for you because they have not been through the situation yet. Even having somebody die is a natural death. Everybody has not experienced that yet. So they have no idea what's going to happen. Most folks, they don't even want to talk about it. I talk about it every single day because that's my job. But some folks, they don't even want to talk about that. So they have no idea how that's going to look and only can tell you the basics when it comes to empathizing and having a compassion for somebody else who's going through that situation actively. Just know that that is okay. You're the one who has to, it all comes back to you. You're the one who has to care about the situation more than anybody else. And like I said, I'm not saying that everybody doesn't care. I'm not saying that at all. But just know that they can only care and have compassion from the levels that they can at this present time, given their experience and given their trauma and given what they've been through. And just know that it's okay. You have to do what you have to do for yourself and your family, whoever it is. I guess yourself first and foremost. So never forget that. So y'all, again, I'm going to go ahead and get off here so I get into work this morning. I hope that y'all have a great day. And just think about the things that I was talking about in the video. Even if it's not a full message or that kind of thing, that's okay. But just think about the things. And just know the next time that you're sharing something with somebody or talking about something, I guess with some, even this video, may not, and it's not going to land with everybody at all. I can tell you that. And I'm okay with that. We have to be able to share our story, speak our truth and that kind of thing, and be okay with how others may perceive it. And that's okay. So with that, y'all, have a great one. Peace out. I'll see y'all in the next video.